So Skellige reveals happened today. Let's look through them then. We got Sove and Ulula for the golds, and also a Brokvar warrior. So Brokvar clan gets more representation in Gwent and Feral Bond raid card. I guess we're gonna look at Sove first. The legendary human warrior, who comes out as 11 for 11 with immune. My Twitch crashed. Did my stream crash? No. Okay. So you play 11 for 11 with immunity. That immediately should trigger everyone who thinks that people will abuse it in no unit archetype. Because, well, the ability of Sove is that it summons a beast from your deck to your opponent's side and infuses with Death Wish of, well, when you kill Death Wish unit, the one that you just summoned to their side of the board, you boost your immune unit twice the power of the beast. And yeah, while you summoning it, you also damage it by 1 for each damaged unit. So say you are playing a long round, you damaged 8 of your opponent's deck, 8 of your opponent's cards, and you summon an 8-point bear on their side of the board with Sove. You kill it instantly and boost your Sove by 16, so he plays as 27 for 11, which is also immune. Of course, that's an ideal situation where you play a long round, you manage to get Bloodthirst 8. That never happens. At the same time, Sove's ability is not a deploy, so you can just leave your 11 for 11 on the board and next turn combine it. Since we're talking about the beasts, you can even play the Dandelion Vainglory, but of course Geralt's and other abilities exist, like a bunch of Geralt's and other Toll Punish. Is it opposite there? Opposite row, yeah, so it's not random. You cannot really line up an Igni with Sove, but I'm kind of concerned about the love for the immunity. T-Bors came out the last patch, and well, people tried to abuse it immediately with practitioners, and it's annoying when your opponent plays 15, be it an immune unit that gives your opponent a card, but still annoying. And now we have Sove that can be played second to last, for example, and no unit archetype. And then you have like another last say after that potentially buffs Sove as well, so quite a few points can be stored in this card. A bit scary. At the same time, realistically speaking, his damage beast by 1 for each damaged unit. If you go too greedy, you might lack the ability to finish it off. If we're talking Geralt, maybe you play a longish round and actually have some Bloodthirst, and your Geralt is bricked because of that, your Igni is bricked because you just damaged the summoned beast. An interesting concept. Not a big fan of immunity, but that's something that projects have been experimenting with again, trying to put immunity on the units that have like disadvantage. With Tibor it was an extra card. With Sove I don't really see it. Look at him as 11 for 11. So next we have Ulula. Ulula should be another demigod or legend, however you call those. We see her fighting a siren. So human warrior who has an order, damage unit by 2, nothing too exciting, plays as 6 on for 8 on deploy, and with order 2 implemented its 8 for 8, but her ability is that whenever an enemy unit takes a damage from your warriors, you damage it by 1, ignoring its armor. So everything that pinks and is a warrior, and we have quite a few of them. We have Hamdel who pinks entire row. We have Berserkers who pink randomly. Marauders who ping 3 times. You can double dip on all those deploys with Ulula, but first Ulula should survive. Ulula shouldn't be muzzled. And second, you need to damage. So anyone to explain to me the ignoring armor condition? Why is it there? How are you damaging a unit if it has armor? We don't really have an armor piercing warriors anymore. And leader doesn't count. So if you have it, I'd happily listen, because at the moment it seems to be. Then we have Feral Bond raid card that spawns a Skellige Wolf. Skellige Wolf is an immune unit of 2 power, so you give 2 power unit to your opponent. Damage it by 1 immediately, so it goes to 1, and create, that shows you 3 options of Skellige Bronze Warriors. If you have the Bloodthirst 3 condition, and the easiest way to set it up with Arniolf, you spawn and play any bronze Skellige Warrior, so you get your own choice of units. If not Bloodthirst 3, you have 3 options. Probably still find a 7-point card. The funny interaction with this is that if you play the... how it's named? Warlord, Highland Warlord, you insta-kill it, because it increases damage of a card by 1. So with that you get immediate Bloodthirst. You get the dead blows, so the... yeah. I didn't mention it. The wolf that you create, Skellige Wolves, have the death wish that they create a copy of self on your side of the board now. But since they are immune, you need to rely on random pings, unless you play the Warlord and insta-kill the created wolf. And the last one is Brockwer Warrior. Human Warrior 2 power, full provision. On deploy, damages unit by 3. If it's still damaged, if it still survives, you repeat the deploy ability, damaging by 2, and then damaging by 1. So the floor and the ceiling of this card is from 2 to like 10 more than 10 points, right? 3, 2, 1 is 7. 9, right? And then you factor in Ulula, but that's probably not how you do that. Like, sure, my concern is the immunity of it, because I don't like big tall units with immunity that also have order 1 zeal on them, so that you can greed it and activate it later. Like, does it need it? Okay, so your thinking is similar. I mean, it is there so that you don't have to... how do you put... They put it on zeal order instead of deploy, so that the death wish is not getting purified, otherwise the card is just unplayable. But yeah, exactly, it makes the card uninteractive. It would have been dead otherwise in the same format. Because imagine you play Sove into 8-point bear on opponent's side of the board, so that's a 3-point swing for you, and opponent just purifies it. And then you are Omega sad. It should actually have Bloodthirst 3 zeal. There are not that many situations besides Yeah, okay, long round, you have 5 damaged units on opponent's side of the board, you summon Bear, that comes out and goes to 3, and you have like Brockware Hunter and another Pirate to finish it off, maybe. So I guess this card sucks versus Purify. You just spawn Half-Row, usually Raging Bear. Why does it suck versus Purify? You just finish it immediately. Like, that's the beauty of it. It has the order. You just wait till the turn, you can actually kill it. Yeah, but you don't give your opponents a chance to purify it. You play it, leave it be, and then next turn or 3 turns later, and that's my concern with the card. You click it when it's actually possible for you to kill it, or when you like played around your opponent toll punish. And that's my concern with the card. I don't think it's insanely... Okay, maybe the numbers on a very, very tall unit are broken. And 27 for... like, we're talking about Raging Bear, it's 16 plus 11, 27. And say you used... As soon as we're talking about using something like Hjalmar for killing the beast, it's bad because, yeah, your Hjalmar is playing for 3 points. So we really need to be talking about this passive damage doing most of the work. And you finish it with something simple as Brockware pings, as Pirate pings. Reckless Flurry if we're just randomly throwing shit. Hi, Red Fox. Yeah, but if you need to kill it, like, fully relying on your side, like, on your damage is bad. You really need the Bloodthirst for it to be efficient. So I like the mechanic overall. I'm just concerned that they had to jump to this hoop of making it immune so that your opponent doesn't like lock Sove and deal with it immediately. That they created something that's gonna be abused. We have all the Sigil players in the game now. They are not going anywhere. And now they got another tool. Maybe Sigil goes into the trash can and they play something new, relying on like raid spams, and then they greet Sove. You could give it wheel. I mean, sure. Since it is not a deploy, you can just whale it. You can shield it if you want, like give it a Sirenova treatment, so to say. If you want it to be unlockable but killable still. Decided to go with the immunity, sure, we'll see how it works. Ulula seems like a card that is great when you play against bot or like NR Knights that have no control whatsoever. Because otherwise, you'll need several turns to get value from her. And the probability of her surviving. We looked at the... Like, I looked and I think I was watching Mercer. They're not that... Like, can you play an engine overload? Ulula seems fun. Yeah. For some reason, those 4 cards sort of feel fair. Feral Bond being 4 provision is a bit surprising. I'd put it at 5. But maybe since you need to play 1 Warlord to like guarantee yourself killing the Skellige Wolves and getting a copy of it, maybe it's fair at 4. Bloodthirst 3 is also not that easy to come by, because you're not guaranteed to find it every time round 1 and your opponent not play any boost. But somehow those cards, while those are really Skellige cards that were similar in design to the most broken deck in the Gwent, one of the most broken decks in the Gwent when warriors were just printed. They still seem fair at the moment compared to, say, Skellige. But yeah, this is the Skellige. What do you think of Brockware? We haven't discussed much over, like, I talked about others, but then I started reading chat instead of talking. Brockware Warrior, like, plays as a 5 for 4. If your target is damaged and survives, and basically damage in a 4 is fine, you get 2 damage now. That makes it 7 for 4 and 8 with it. We are not talking Ulula and others. Brockware seems really good to set up the Blatters. Yeah, it's a bit different from like what Falibor is, in a regard that Falibor needs those dead blows, and Falibor was also not played for 2 years now. This actually allows your opponent to put units on board, and then you start damaging them. So it's a fast way to activate Bloodthirst 3. If we're talking a semi-long to long round. And our card seems so bad in comparison. What is my favorite card? We started talking Skellige. Of course my favorite card is the one I revealed, Platinum